Hello and welcome back to Standard Decks for Pokemon cards for beginners. Today we're going to be going over another great archetype that works pretty well for beginners. This is the Gholdengo EX archetype. Gholdengo EX has been paired with a lot of different Pokemon, but the best one to pair him with is Origin Form Palkia V Star. Origin Form Palkia V Star gives it much needed consistency and some attack buffs. Gholdengo here is the star of the show with a great ability and attack. Its ability allows you to draw cards, keeping your hand full, while its attack deals upwards to 300 or 400 damage, knocking out anything in the game. Origin Form Palkia V Star is another great addition to this deck because of its V Star Power Star Portal. This allows it to energize itself from the discard pile, which goes really well with Radiant Greninja's Concealed Cards ability. You can discard water energy at the beginning of the game, and then use Star Portal to energize Palkia later on. Its Subspace Swell attack can deal a lot of damage, knocking out a lot of threats, thanks to its increased power, the more Pokemon that are on the bench. Finally, Super Energy Retrieval is a key card in this deck. We're going to be having, I think, 4 in here, and that's because it's going to allow you to bring the energy that you've discarded back into your hand, which is essential to get Gholdengo attacking. So, it's all about energy conservation, and then when you can bring energy back from the discard pile into your hand. Let's take a look at some battle footage, and I can show you what I mean. Here's a pretty ideal start for this deck. It doesn't really matter what is your starting Pokemon in the front. It could be Gimmighoul, it could be Radiant Greninja, it could be Palkia, it doesn't really matter. The goal here, though, is to use Concealed Cards to get rid of water energies from your hand. When you do that, those water energies become available for Palkia later on in the game. Steel energies should be attached to Gholdengo, but you only need 1, so you can save the rest in your hand. With this setup, you're good to go. Now later on in the match, you can bring Palkia out and use Star Portal, and because we've discarded water energy, we'll be able to energize Palkia to its fullest and can attack at full power now with full benches. That's another key part to this deck, is making sure you can keep your bench full. Earthen Vessel is another great trainer card here because you can discard cards you can't use anymore, like Battle VIP Pass, to get more energy into your hand, and that energy can then be used when Gholdengo attacks later on. Remember, Gholdengo can attack if there's no energy in your hand, so keeping your hand full of energy is a priority in this deck archetype. As you can see, Palkia swings for 260 at max, which can knock out most first stage and second stage EXs, and a lot of equivalent Pokemon V-Stars. Gholdengo here is also a great attacker because its attack is so flexible in how much damage it can do. Right here, Gholdengo's range is only 150 because we have 3 cards in our hand, which is just enough to what we needed. But because of this, we can get as many energy in our hand as we need to, and then hit for much bigger sums, up to 400, 500, depending on how much energy we have in our hand. As you can see here, with the amount of energy in our hand in this battle, we could do up to 300 damage with Gholdengo's attack. For just 1 energy, that's a lot of power. And it's going to make you an extremely consistent attacker late in the game when you're faced with something like a Charizard EX or a Chien-Pao or anything that has a lot of hit points. You can use Gholdengo. As long as you can finagle energy into your hand, you can make sure that you can knock those things out. This is where Earthen Vessel and Superior Energy Retrieval come in handy. Earthen Vessel lets you get energy from your deck. Superior Energy Retrieval lets you bring it out from your discard pile, meaning that you're going to have a very full energy hand whenever you need it. This deck does, of course, have shortcomings. Gholdengo is weak to fire, which is a very common deck archetype right now, with Charizard being so powerful. So it does have a lot of Pokemon that can hit it for weakness. Palkia does abate that a little bit, but this deck does only run 1 Palkia for that reason. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you get a chance to try out this Gholdengo EX deck, and let me know how it goes in the comments. We'll see you next time with another great deck archetype.